All right, I'm going to do a rundown of a few different types of DeWalt batteries that are out there. There's a lot of different names and they kind of sound the same, and I'm just going to give you an overview of what they are and how they're built. We have some standard batteries that are cell-based. So this is like your typical old school 18650s, these kind of things. They come with kits. They're usually pretty cheap. They come in a lot of different capacities and form factors. You'll find these 5 amp hour batteries, for sale for pretty cheap a lot of times. This is a newer design of that same old cell-based technology. This is like 2100 cells, I think, maybe, instead of 18650s. But I use these a lot, and I'm going to talk about how I use these in a minute. These are the PowerStack batteries. Now these are a newer technology. This is built like a laptop battery or a cell phone battery. They're built like pouch style batteries. So it gives DeWalt some flexibility on how they're going to build them, the form factor, as well as it does increase the charge cycles, things like that. It can deliver power a lot more efficiently. So they're really nice. This is a newer type of battery too. This is a PowerPack, they're calling it. So this is a cell-based. So there are cells in here, but they, instead of having one point of contact flowing through the battery, there's multiple points of contact. So they call it a tabless design. The newer Tesla batteries are like this and stuff. They're able to flow through the power a lot more efficiently than and dissipating heat a lot better than the traditional batteries that have tabs, one tab. This is a FlexVolt battery. So this is a tab-based battery. So this has regular old cells in it. This is a 12 amp hour, so it'll be the bigger cells. But this is a FlexVolt battery, meaning it works with the 60 volt tools or the 20 volt tools. In 20 volt, it'll be 12 amp hours of capacity. In 60 volt, it'll be 4 in this one. But there are 9 amp hour batteries as well in the FlexVolt, where same size, but the higher capacity cells in these. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I use these. FlexVolts, obviously I use them in my FlexVolt tools. I have a miter saw that's FlexVolt. I have a circular saw that's FlexVolt, grinder, sawzall. Like, these are awesome. Basically the power can be delivered with less amps if you're giving it more volts with the same amount of wattage. It's usually they're more efficient, the tools as well. You'll get more cuts per charge, things like that. The PowerPacks I use when I want a lot of power, but I want a little less weight and less bulk. I use this on my vacuum and some bigger drills when I need a lot of power and a lot of runtime, because these PowerStacks deliver a lot of power. I'll use these on drills and stuff, but they are less capacity than the PowerPacks, the bigger PowerPacks. So I use the big 5 amp hour on a lot of my drivers and stuff when I'm doing a lot of stuff with those all day. The smaller PowerStacks I really like because they're very light. So if I'm using the screwdrivers and impact drivers, or I'm doing a lot of overhead stuff, I'll use these because they're very small and light, but they still provide a lot of power. The traditional ones, I use these mainly for things I don't have to have a lot of power delivery for, like, I don't know, like you got a nail gun or a light or something like that I just want to put and run for a while. I do like these 4 amp hour compact battery, the new ones. They are still traditional cell-based, but they're really cheap for some reason. Like, you can find these in these Home Depot sales for like 50 bucks, like all the time. And that's a great deal for these. I like the form factor. They're not too bulky. They're kind of flat. They kind of give a good base for the tool. So, but yeah, like I said, you can get these 5 amp hour ones for pretty cheap usually. And it's a good way to get a lot of capacity for relatively cheap. So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any comments about these batteries and how they work. Thanks for watching.